Hello, welcome back. We actually expected Alibaba to actually report earnings about a couple of days ago or so, but then they came back and said that they will report their financial results ended in March 31. That's the quarter and fiscal year ended in March 31. They're going to report on Thursday, May 26 instead, before the US market opens. So of course I will be around. I will be making a video for when that happens because I'm super interested about Alibaba and its earnings. But in this video I wanted to take a little bit of a quick look at what's currently going on with the company and kind of report what's in the cards, what we should be expecting, and how we should be reacting to potential numbers that are going to be coming out. Now, as you'll see here, we are looking at revenues that will potentially be increasing here. They suggest, like the Zacks consensus estimate suggests revenues at 30.8 billion, a growth of 7.6%. And I have heard from some sources that it could actually be negative growth in terms of revenue. But over here, we're actually saying that there will be an increase in their revenue. We'll see that. However, we are looking at a potential decline in net income. You will see here that earnings are pegged at 1.06, and that's a massive decline actually from year-over-year quarter figures. Interesting to see that's going to be the case. Now, this, of course, remember, it's an estimate, it's a consensus estimate, is what analysts believe. And when these kinds of very large declines are expected, even if there's a slightest actually miss in this estimate and things are better, we can actually see a very positive movement to the upside because the expected decline is quite steep here, 33%. We'll see what's going to happen, of course. Now, some factors to consider here, of course. It looks like Alibaba is doing pretty well in terms of their products and services here. They seem to be focusing in customers and sellers pretty much. And of course, they have actually added big data and AI into Baba's platforms here. Seems to be doing better. But we'll see how things will be progressing. Now, the model of Zacks is actually saying that Alibaba is a hold here, if you'll see, which I'm a little bit surprised about. I would expect it to be a strong buy, to tell you the truth. But it doesn't really affect our considerations. Now, you will see here that Alibaba CEO reassured employees amid economic and regulatory changes. That's another interesting thing to notice here. And Chinese e-commerce, the giant Alibaba is an important contributor to society and continues to develop in a regulated manner, is what Chairman and CEO said over here. Now, family members, is what he said, please relax. Despite uncertainties in the international situation, the COVID-19 pandemic, we are still developing as a whole. Another interesting thing to notice about the company here, and some potentially nice information coming out of China in the next few years, hopefully, and maybe even months actually, as China and the US actually come to an agreement. We could be seeing some much better value for the Chinese market, which has been completely annihilated this year, and this is what this article is talking about. Another very interesting article that I was looking at kind of gives us some idea about what people are thinking about Alibaba. This is a very nice breakdown here, which talks about what is happening with the crackdown in Alibaba. We have, of course, talked about it quite some, and the article here stresses that Alibaba hasn't actually managed to jump much lately, even though we have heard about the news on easing CCP scrutiny here, collaboration with SEC. We are still below $100, which is actually kind of surprising to me. But as you'll see here, we have clear signs of positive development here. Although some people still believe that China is uninvestable. Remember that even JP Morgan came back and said that their note about Alibaba and China basically being uninvestable was a typo, was a mistake, and so they didn't really mean that. So, what you will see here, favorably, the listing for Alibaba is unlikely. We have talked about this before in the past. We don't really expect for Alibaba to get delisted at any point. But even if this happens, let's just say that the stock gets delisted, that doesn't really affect the financials of the company, which are doing awesome. And as the company stock price has been going down, they will soon be trading at cash reserves price. I mean, they have so much cash, and they are trading at such a low valuation that it's basically a no-brainer to buy this stock right now. Of course, as you will see, they have fully deployed. It's nearly 78 billion in cash, because they will be buying back shares, and that's very, very important for long-term investors, of course. And all the regulations that have happened haven't really crushed Alibaba as it would be expecting here, as you all see. And that talks about the company's margins and all that seem to be still fine. Now, easing regulation is a very, very important thing, and you can see it also in this article, China to end regulatory storm over big tech and give sector bigger role in boosting slowing economy. Now, this is an article that's from last month, remember we talked about it, but it's very, very important because if that happens, we're going to be probably seeing a massive jump in the Chinese stock market, in the Chinese securities pretty much. And so that's a very, very interesting article here, and again, a very, very interesting development. Seems like China is very, very willing to help big tech come back to normal, and also generally help its slowing economy that they have themselves really slowed down. So hopefully we're going to be seeing some better steps towards that in the next few months. It will take a little bit of time, I'm sure, but we're heading to positive territory is the interesting thing here. And so what investors should expect? There seems to be some softening in terms of domestic spending, which may affect Alibaba's revenue growth. We're probably looking at lower revenue growth, but still positive, which is okay. I mean, you can see that in some quarters, it's not a big deal, but still we're likely looking at positive revenue growth. And amidst this environment, you could expect it to be negative, but it still looks like it's going to be positive. Now, the article talks about Alibaba's cloud, for example, has become stronger than ever, really. Has managed within 2 years to expand its global market share from 5% to nearly 10%, which is absolutely amazing, actually. This is insane growth, by the way, for 5 to 10% of its global market share, imagine that. And so there, you can see here that China cloud infrastructure's services spend forecast is increasing massively in the next few years, and so this looks like some great opportunity for Alibaba. So I am expecting that what is going to potentially happen with the earnings this time. Personally, I think that it's going to be a surprise on the upside because of the limited expectations right now. Of course, you can never really know what will happen in an earnings report. You never really know. It can be completely unexpected. But it does look like we're like almost set for something of that sort to happen. Now, of course, this sentiment that we're currently having, the negative sentiment, can keep on going for a little while, and even the slowest miss or a missing on guidance could potentially still take the company's stock price down, which will effectively allow us to buy at a cheaper price because the business is amazing. We have talked about it in the past many, many times. And for me, Alibaba is a massively strong buy, and I'm pretty much buying all day, and I have bought all day. So this is what I wanted to talk about in this video, a little bit of a quick one, talk a little bit about what's going with Alibaba as we're expecting its earnings report. Let me know with a comment below, what do you think about Alibaba? What are you expecting for this earnings? I'm very, very curious to hear what you think about this one, this expected earnings. Is it gonna be good? Are we gonna go higher? What are we expecting? Maybe some news in between or a little after the earnings report? We'll see. But thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.